Learn about some of the new snapshot capabilities built in with T-SQL in SQL Server 2022. This week on Data Exposed. Hi, I'm Anna Hoffman, and welcome to this episode of Data Exposed. Today, I'm joined by Perry, who is no stranger to Data Exposed. Perry, thanks so much for joining us on the show again. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. My pleasure, Anna, to be here. My name is Perry Skountrianos. I'm a PM with the SQL Server engineering team, currently focusing on SQL Server engine features, scalability, and performance.
Awesome, cool. And we're glad to have you on the show because we're going to talk about some new and exciting stuff related to backup. So When people think about backups, a lot of people think about streaming backups. Can you tell us a little bit about the pros and cons?
Sure, yeah. Streaming backups are essential, of course, but they are very resource intensive, right? They require a lot of CPU, I/O, memory, and they're a size of data operation. So meaning that the larger the database, the longer the backup, as you very well know, will take. The alternative, though, is snapshot backups.
Okay, tell us a little bit more.
So snapshot backups, again, are not new. They've been around for a very long time. They're extremely fast, lightweight, and customers can back up and restore in seconds, right?
Okay.
But that comes with a couple of drawbacks. Because customers are relied on third-party solutions, these solutions are built on top of SQL Writer that itself depends on VSS and VDI, and they can be very complex solutions to implement.
Okay.
But we have a solution.
Okay, so everything you're talking about is pre-SQL Server 2022.
Correct.
And the solution is in SQL Server 2022.
It is, yes.
Okay, so what's the solution?
So the solution is a set of new T-SQL commands that allow you to take essentially a snapshot backup much easier. And I'm going to show you all that.
Okay, cool. So how does it work?
So 3 steps with SQL Server 2022 to take a snapshot backup. First, you need to suspend the database that you're going to take a snapshot backup on with this new T-SQL command, suspend for snapshot backup on. The user still needs to initiate and perform the actual snapshot of the disk. And then the user needs to back up the metadata of the database that he or she just suspended.
Okay.
And you can do this, Anna, for a single database or a set of databases with one command. So this is showing you for multiple databases, it's the same command, but you pass a switch for group of the databases that you want to suspend. Again, the user initiates and performs the actual snapshot backup as before, and then you can back up the metadata again in the same BKM file.
Okay, awesome, cool.
And last slide is you can do this for the whole server, meaning you can back up all the databases under the same SQL Server instance, or as I showed you, a group of the databases.
Gotcha.
Restore looks very familiar. It's the same T-SQL command, but we're adding this with metadata only. And existing options to move the data and log file if you have to, after you restore the snapshot backup.
Okay, got it. So it seems pretty straightforward to get started.
Yes.
Can we take a look?
Of course. Let's switch to the demo. So here we are in SSMS. What I'm going to do, I'm running SQL Server 2022. I'm going to create 2 sample databases, identical, with a table containing 1,000 rows. So I'm going to go ahead and execute that. Executing, so 1,000 rows in each. And just to verify, these are my 2 databases, identical. Next, I'm going to delete all previous backup history and files, just to start sort of fresh. Mm-hmm. And then 3 steps to perform the snapshot backup. I'm going to suspend the database, if you remember from the slides.
Yep.
I'm going to take a snapshot backup of the disk with a small utility that I have here, and I'm going to back up the metadata. So first, 1,000 rows, if you remember, in this table. I'm going to suspend the database with this new T-SQL command. And here you see that the database now is suspended.
Okay.
And just to look a little bit under the hood on the locking that we are acquiring while we suspend the database. So here we take 3 locks. We take a shared lock on the master database. This is the first row here with the resource database ID, and 2 locks on the database that we just suspended, an exclusive and a shared lock. Then going back to the script, I'm going to make it a little bit interesting, and I'm going to copy this insert in a new window, and I'm going to try to insert this one more row in the table. And you see that this insert is currently blocked.
Right, because this should, not work. You just
the database has been suspended, so
Right.
this is not going through. And then going back to the script, I'm going to take a snapshot of the disk with this utility.
Okay.
Bear with me here. And then I'm going to back up the metadata of the database in this new BKM file. And now I have everything that I need to restore the snapshot backup.
Okay.
So let's see how that looks like. But before we do that, let's go to the other window and see this is now has been completed. So that row has been inserted to the table, but before because we performed the snapshot backup before this succeeded, we're not going to see that extra row on the restore.
Right.
So this is the command to unsuspend the database, which is needed only if the backup metadata command failed. So this, you will see here that the database is not suspended anymore, so it's ready to go. And then going back here, let's restore it. So I'm going to drop this sample database one. So this should be gone from here.
Yep.
And then a couple of steps to restore it. First, I want to show you the file list only, just to inspect a little bit the BKM file. What are we storing there? So here I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and you see I have my data file and the log file and other metadata, the size, the group, the type, the LSN, all the necessary information for me to restore that snapshot backup. And here I'm going to mount my snapshot, if you remember, with this utility. And then it's time for the restore. And restore is done. As you see, these are one of the advantages of the snapshot backup, right? It
so
works
fast.
So fast, yes. And it's irrespective of the size of the database.
Amazing.
So here I should have my sample database one back restored.
Mm-hmm.
And can you guess how many rows am I going to have in the table?
1,000.
1,000. Oh.
I was paying attention. Yeah.
Nice.
But the other one should have 1,001.
Yes. So that was a quick demo to perform a snapshot backup of one database and then restore it. If you remember from the slides, we can do it for multiple databases with one command. So let me show you that.
Okay.
So same script. I have two databases with 1,000 rows each, identical. And then I'm going to go ahead and suspend both of them with one command with this group switch. So here you see both of the databases, we acquired the necessary logs. IO is frozen. If you remember, you cannot write to the databases, but you can still read from it. And then I'm going to take a snapshot again with this utility that I have of the disk. Yep.
So it's really just the same commands. It's just instead you're using this group and specifying the databases.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Backing up the metadata for both of those databases in the same file. And then just verifying that I still have 1,000 rows in there. Dropping both of the databases, so these should be gone from here.
Yep.
Gone. And this is another cool thing. I'm going to quickly, before I restore it, I'm going to walk you through the header only and file list only, which, again, they're not new commands. They're there for regular backup and restore. But just to show you the, here I have two sets, right, for DB1 and DB2, again, data and log file as before. And these are, in the same file. And then mounting the snapshot, and then restoring both of these databases.
Again, super quick.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. I have one more flow, one demo that I'm going to show you how you can take a snapshot backup, but also apply on top of it a log backup. So
Okay.
hopefully we will be able to see, if you remember that one extra row.
Yeah.
With this demo, you will be able to see 1,001 if everything works as
Let's
expected.
see.
Yes.
You've dropped a lot of databases since
Yes.
then.
So I'm going to suspend the sample DB1 again. Now I'm going to copy this in my window here. And I'm going to execute it. Again, it's not going through because the database is currently suspended. I'm going to take a snapshot. Backup the metadata of the database. This should be now inserted, and I'm going to take a log backup. And now the database has probably is not suspended, but I'm going to execute it. Yep, it's not suspended. It's ready to go. Once again, dropping the database. So sample one, DB1 is gone. Mounting the snapshot.
Okay.
And now restoring from the snapshot backup. And also applying the log backup.
Okay, gotcha.
And now, if everything works as expected, the count should be 1001.
Nice. Okay, got it.
So that was a quick demo on the new T-SQL commands to take a snapshot and then restore it. But I'm going to leave you with the monitoring of the snapshot because I think it's very important to look under the hood and see, if everything works as expected. And for that purpose, we're introducing three new properties. One server property called suspended database count. This will give you the count of the databases that have been suspended. Remember, if you have multiple databases under the same instance and you suspend two, that should return the number of the databases being suspended. And two database properties to, again, inspect if they are suspended or not individually.
Gotcha.
So just to demonstrate that very quickly, if I suspend the whole server, right, and I have two databases.
We'd expect to see two.
Yes. So we see two here.
Nice.
And then individually, this should all return true. One for sample DB1, and this should be one as well.
Nice. That's useful.
Yes. And finally, we have a couple more things. DM server suspend status can be used to inspect the session that was used to suspend the database. If something goes wrong, you can always go back in this DMV, get the session ID, kill it, and then the database will become unsuspended. And also the sysdmtran logs can help you see the logs that are taken during the suspend and unsuspend of the database. And I'm unsuspended, and I should be back where I started.
Awesome. Cool. No, I think it's great to show us how it all works, but it's also great to show us like how you monitor it because maybe something goes wrong or maybe you want to see under the hood what's happening. So I think it's great that we also added these new properties that people can use.
Absolutely. I think it's very important because we have, as you very well know, critical OLTP workloads. We cannot afford to leave the database, suspended. It's mission critical. So we're very excited to have, to offer DMVs and options to look under the hood on the locking, on the session that we used, and everything else.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Perry, thanks so much for coming on the show. To our viewers, now you've heard it here first about some of the updates to Snapshot Backups in SQL Server 2022. If you like this episode, go ahead, give it a like, leave us a comment. Go and get started with this. You just need SQL Server 2022 to try it out. We'll put some links in the description for you to learn more. And we hope to see you next time on Data Exposed.